Hey, hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening, friends. Welcome back to our day six on SQL sessions. So, we have successfully completed 5 days as part of this program, and day by day, we are able to update with respect to the SQL concepts, right? So, before we start the actual session, we'll quickly recap what we have covered in the previous day, then we'll take our discussion to the next level, right? So, in yesterday's class, we have understood the concept of operators, right? Yes. So, what operators did we learn as part of the class, the session? Is what exactly are the operators? Operators are nothing but they represent some symbols. Why do we use operators? Is they perform some kind of operations, right? So these symbols, the operators that we use as part of the queries, okay, SQL queries, will do some kind of operations on the data, right? Then these SQL operators are of many types: arithmetic, then okay, we also have bitwise, then we understood some special operators, right? So apart from bitwise, everything was being you know covered in the yesterday's session, in the previous session. So arithmetic operators, under arithmetic operators we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and finally modulus. Right? So the basic for basic mathematical calculations, operations, and all, we go and use arithmetic operators for adding, for subtracting, for getting the difference, for multiplication. Okay, if not for performing division, and finally this modulus operator returns remainder. Okay, so upon the requirement, we use modulus operator also. Right. Next to arithmetic operators, we understood comparison operators. The purpose of comparison operators is to compare the values. What are the different comparison operators that we have in SQL? Is equals to, okay, not is equals to is also written as or greater than less than. This is also not equals to, friends. Okay, then what else we have understood? We understood greater than, less than, greater than equals to, less than equals to, right? Okay, so upon your requirement, again, go and use right comparison operator to compare the values. Okay, so if you, okay, I'll talk about this point later, but let me, complete the rest of the operators. Logical operator, when you want to, when you're actually working on multiple conditions, okay, if you want to check multiple conditions, go and use logical operators. We have and, or, not. And is also written as double ampersand or with a double vertical pipe or not. Okay. So when does end return true? When all the statements, when all the conditions hold true, only then end operator returns true. Then or, when does or operator returns true? When all the conditions, even if one condition satisfies, or operator returns true. But not is explicitly used in what cases? Whenever you want to reverse the output, then go and use not. Okay, it is performing a kind of negation. So simple. We did not discuss bitwise. Bitwise works on the binary data, bits, zeros and ones. So let us not go into it. And finally, we also discuss some special operators like between. Okay, so when you have a range of values and you know you can use between operator to specify the condition. Then we used in we understood in operator. So from the list of values, okay, if you want to get the output, okay, when you want to define a condition from a list of values, go and use in operator. Then we also discuss like. Okay, so like operator, it completely works with respect to patterns, friends. Okay, so these patterns are created using two while characters. One is percentage and the other one is underscore. This percentage includes or it represents n number of characters. Okay, whereas underscore represents only one single character. Okay, so we understood the difference between percentage and underscore as well. Then we also understood not like, opposite to like. Okay, then we understood the null operator. If the values are null, yes, it returns the output. Oh, it returns only those records. We also understood not null, so opposite to null. So these are the important operators that we have discussed in the previous session. We are also supposed to discuss about union and union all. So this particular topic we'll understand in the coming sessions. What is this union and union all? Okay. So in the coming sessions we'll probably take an example and understand the difference of what is the purpose of union, union all, and the differences between these two operators. Right. So in all these operators, okay, yesterday if you observe, we were using something called as where. To specify the condition, I'm using a condition called where. So what is this where? Yesterday, when probably when I'm explaining this where, I have mentioned it as clause, right? So today it's the turn to discuss the topic called clauses. Okay, probably from day two we were talking about SQL languages in DML commands. Okay, with respect to update, then with respect to delete, we are using this where. We are using this word called where. What exactly is this where? This where is a clause. What is a clause? Hold on. Today we are going to discuss the topic of clauses. Okay, what are the clauses that we have? What is the purpose of clause in SQL? Okay, what are the different types of clauses that we have in SQL? Okay, then we'll also try to understand all the different types of clauses by taking different examples. Okay, we'll execute all the queries one by one, right? So we'll go slow and steady and understand the concept of clauses. Right, let's get started, friends. What is a clause? Clauses are the core components. They are the essential component in SQL. In structured query language, okay, you take any of the query, it represents the core component. Why? Because they actually, provide a specific instructions to the database. What kind of instructions? We'll understand. But who is actually providing this instruction to the database? It is clause. Okay, so that is why clauses are the core components of queries. Okay, they are providing the instructions to the database within the table. Within a database you'll have multiple tables. Okay, within table you have the data. What kind of data to be retrieved? How the data to be retrieved? In what fashion? Everything, all the such kind of instructions will be provided by the clauses. Okay, so the main purpose of using clauses is they help us to filter. So you can filter your data. They help us to sort the data, group the data, limit the data. Okay, we can also skip some kind of data. So all these kind of instructions can be passed to the database by using clauses. So today we are going to learn a very important topic, a very fundamental core component of SQL, that is clauses. So focus friends, the same pattern. I'll take one by one query, I'll explain the query and then I'll execute. Right? Yes. So what is the first step? What am I doing here? I need your active participation. So don't sit idle. I want your active participation. Use the chat window because this is not something new for us. What are we doing in line number 1? What is a command? What command are we using here? Let everyone start typing the answers. Even though if you're wrong, that's okay. But let us learn. We are creating a table? No, not exactly. We are not creating a table. Go through it. Are we creating any kind of table here? What is it? It is a create command. Good. But what are we creating, my friend? Then we are creating a database. We are creating a database. So don't simply make your answers. Go through it. Create is the command which is used to create the structures, is what we have learned as part of DDL. What is the structure that I'm trying to create is database. What is the name of the database? Store underscore inventory. Then I'm creating, that's okay. But am I using it? Did I specify anywhere? No. I'm just creating a database. That's it. Okay. So I'll execute. Done. So a database got created. So I should have another schemas right towards the left side. Let me refresh. Yep. I see here because all the databases are, alphabetically arranged. So I see my database in this list somewhere here. Store underscore inventory. Then what is the next step? Next step is, you're supposed to select the database that you are going to use. Okay. Is this the query? Yes. This is the query. Use database name. This will ensure that we use that specific database. Whatever database that I have created, I'm going to use it. Right? So let me use it. You see, out of all the databases, probably let me go top. So out of all the databases, I can see only store underscore inventory got highlighted because I'm using it for my purpose. Right? Very simple. Then what are we doing? What is our next plan? Our next plan is, this one. So tell me friends, what are we doing here? I'll give you good amount of time. Think, because this is very fundamental. Okay. So we are creating a table named as products. That is products. Then what is the syntax of create command? Create command says create whatever it is. If it is a table, okay, use the keyword create table followed by table name. Okay, but for table itself, You are supposed to, define at least one column. So I have defined my one column followed by data type, followed by data type. Then whatever you have next to it, ignore. For time being, they are not at all required. Ignore. These are something called as constraints, auto increment, primary key. Okay, they are called as constraints. That is the topic for tomorrow. Okay, so let us not focus on them for time being. Then the next column is product name. This is non-numeric data, right? So we should go and select something, some data type which is related to string data type or character data type. So I'm going to use varchar. Again, a constraint, not null. Then the third column, data type, fourth column, data type, fifth column, so on. Okay, so let us create this table. Done. It got created. Yes, table got created. Let me also refresh here. I should see products. So till here, this is not something new for us because from day one we are learning these languages. Then once after creating the table, what is the next step? We should have data inside it. We should have data inside it. Then what am I doing? I'm inserting the data. I'm inserting the records. You see, which command are we using here? What is the command that is being used? Come on, friends. Insert is the command. Insert belongs to which language? DDL, DQL, DML, DCL, or TCL? Out of these five languages, insert comes under which language? DML. What is the full form of DML? What is the full form of DML? Data manipulation language. Right? Yes. So you see, I'm trying to insert the records. Okay. So probably, yep, this would be best. Okay. So inserting the records one by one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In total, 10 records I'm inserting in a single query. Okay. Let us also see whether it got executed or not. Yes, successfully executed. So for sure, we should have the data in the table. Let's go and check. Yes, 10 records. Right? So we created a database followed by we have started using the database. Next to it, we created a table inside the database. Okay, and the table name is products. And finally, we inserted the records. Okay, and we were able to fetch the records, the data using select command, and I can see all the 10 records in the data. I mean, in the table. Okay, clear. Now, let us go and understand the first topic. It is the first clause. It is where clause. The first clause is where clause. What is or when do we generally use where clause? Where clause is used to filter the data. Whenever you want to filter the records, based on some conditions, then go and use where clause. That's it. Yes, that's what we have done yesterday. Okay, the same process, the same thing we have done yesterday. Right? 1 minute. Why did we have this? Okay, it got duplicated, I think so. 1 minute. Yep. You see, I'm going to use where clause. Okay. So we understood the purpose of where clause. Where clause is used, when you want to filter the data based on some conditions. Okay. But where it is generally used, it is generally used, in select command, then update command, delete command. We also use where clause in other SQL statements. Okay. But probably we are aware of using where clause in these three commands because under DML we understood update. Under DML we also understood delete. But for specifying the condition we used where clause only. But that time we are not aware of what is a where clause. Okay, what is this where exactly? Yesterday in the previous session also we used where clause inside select. Am I right? Yes. So let now we are able to use where clause in all these three different statements, these three queries by understanding the usage of where clause. Where clause is generally used to filter the data, the records based on some conditions. Here is an example. Excuse me. So what do you understand from this? This is a select command. Okay, so the select command syntax is select star from table name. Okay, where star represents the entire data, all records. But what is the additional thing that you see here? I also see a condition. But how is the condition specified? Using where clause. Okay, so where clause will be attached or will be included in this select statement to filter the data based on a condition. What is a condition? If the values in the price column, if they are greater than 500, only then fetch the records. Okay, only those records to be fetched, to be retrieved. Okay, for those records, I'll go back. So price. If it is greater than 500, only those records to be fetched. For this record, probably yes. Here the condition is meeting. So in this record, which column should I written in the output? I want all. Okay, I want all. It's not only one column. All the columns of the filtered records should be given in the output. Let me execute. See. Does the condition met? Yes. So out of 10 records, only 4 records, for only 4 records, the condition has met, friends. Okay, I'm very slow at the initial stage. When you understand the basic part, we can increase the pace, right? So hope it's making some good amount of sense. So the condition is met, and I'm able to fetch the entire columns, all the columns of the records. Good. Then let us make this a bit complicated. We'll go to the next level. This is not again new for us because yesterday, if you remember, we have used this where clause while explaining the concept of operators. So if you see again, we are working on operators only, friends. Is equals to operator, then what is this? Greater than operator, logical operator. So since I'm using AND operator, both the conditions should be true. Only then it returns the records. Only for those records, it will be returned in the output. So the category should be electronics and the quantity should be greater than 20. Okay, let's see. What are those records? So only two. It is smartphone and wireless headphones. Is the quantity greater than 20? Yes. Simple. Right. Then let us go to the next level. This time I'll use some special operators. What is a special operator that I'm using? Between. Okay, I'm using between. So if the price is between 100 and 500, Okay, only those product details should be returned. See, if the price is between 100 and 500, only those records data should be returned. So again, simple. Yes, the reason is we are aware of operators concept, and in operators we were continuously using only where clause. So now we were able to understand, because of this clause called where, we were able to specify a condition and filter the records. Okay, so where is a clause which helps us to filter the data based on some condition. Again, I'm using one more special operator, this time in. Okay, so what does the condition says? If the category is electronics or appliances, okay, so only then the records should be returned. So how many records have been fetched? 3, 4, 7. So there are 3 other records which are not part of these 2 categories. Some other category. The condition is not met, so the data got discarded. Right. Then I'll use one more operator, that is like. But you see here, it's same prints. The conditions are just changing, but if you see with respect to the select part, select command, I want all the columns. I am not specifying one unique column. Okay, one single column. I'm not specifying. I'm specifying all the columns. That is, I'm representing with star. What does this mean? If the product name starts with W, and next to W I can have n number of characters, only those product names to be filtered, and those records to be written in the output. Let's see, there is only one product. It is wireless headphones. Okay, if I use not like, then I'll get rest of the 9 products. So that is exactly does opposite to like. Okay, done. So good, I hope we have got some good amount of understanding with respect to where clause. Next to where clause, we have order by clause. Where clause is actually filtering the data, right? Order by, the name itself, it's giving some kind of information about the clause. Order by clause. So this particular clause helps us to sort the data. We can order the data using this order by clause. So Akhil, either is it ascending order or descending order? Again, upon your requirement. Upon your requirement, either you want to sort the data in ascending order or descending order, it's up to you. But by default, if you see here, by default the sorting is done in ascending order. Explicitly, if you don't mention the order to be done in descending, okay, by default it takes ascending. Okay, let us go and understand order by clause using some queries. So the syntax is same. Select star from table name followed by order by clause, then the column name. So what happens is, in this column we have values, right, in price column. So the values in this price column will be ordered, but either in ascending or descending. Since I did not specify ascending or descending, by default it goes with ascending order and it returns the data. Okay, and it gives us the output. See, price. So if you see, the data will be arranged in ascending order. Is it ascending? Yes. I hope you got the point. Order by clause helps us to order the data, sort the data either in ascending or descending. Okay, let us sort the data in descending order. But for in order to sort the data in descending order, you are supposed to mention the keyword DESC. DESC keyword should be mentioned. So what are we doing? We are ordering the data, sorting the data based on date, but in descending order from big to small. See, so you know the data got sorted based on the date in descending order from the big date to the small date. Simple? Yes. We'll take to the next level. We'll understand few more queries with respect to order by. What are we doing here? The same, but I'm just changing the clause. I mean the clause is also same, but within the clause I'm changing the order. So far we have understood ascending order, how we are able to order the data, sort the data in ascending order, descending order. Now we'll understand the data. I mean we'll understand this query which helps us to sort the data, order the data based on two columns. Is it possible? Yes. You can also sort your data based on n number of columns. Specify the column and the order. Column order. Okay. But first preference will be given to category, followed by price. Okay. The preference will be given to category. Next to category, we'll have price. So let me, execute this. So you see, out of three categories, we have appliances first, next electronics, then furniture. If the category is same, then it gives priority to price. So what is the least price that we have in this data is 80. Then 300, 1000. Okay, we are done with this category. Then it goes to the next category, electronics. In electronics, what is the least price? 120, 600, 800, 900. I hope it's making sense, friends. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm sorting the data based on two columns. Okay, you can also sort the data based on n number of columns. Make sure that you specify the order, ascending order or descending order. Like how we have specified, we were able to sort the data in ascending. In the same way, can we also sort the data in descending? Yes. Okay, just replace that keyword ASC with DSC, descending. Let me execute. So this will be opposite of the previous keys. Okay, so furniture first. In the furniture category, what is the maximum price? The highest price, 200, then 150. Why did we have 250? Sorry, my bad. I'm supposed to work on quantity. Why am I looking at, price? 15, 8, 7. Okay, so I'm not supposed to work on price because the column that I have specified is quantity. So this is the column that I have to check. Clear? So using this order by is also very simple. Order by helps us to sort the data. Only one thing that you keep in mind. So far we understood ascending, descending. Can we have a combination of both? Yes. Category values will be ordered in ascending order. Okay. And prices values, this price column values will be sorted in descending order. Let's go and see. So this is ascending, but here if you see, it's descending. Clear? So I'm using order by for sorting the data. We have understood all the different combinations. Either you can sort in ascending, descending, okay, based on a number of columns, all the columns in ascending, all the columns in descending. You can also change the order by changing the column name. Okay, so this different approaches and different cases, right? Yes. So this is with respect to order by, and the key points that you have is the default order that it takes in MySQL is ascending. Okay, even though if you don't specify the order, by default it is ascending. That is one thing that you keep in mind. Let us go to the next clause, that is group by. Where clause is used for filtering the data. Order by clause is used for sorting the data. Then third clause that we have is group by clause. Group by clause helps us to, group the records. This group by clause helps us to group the records that have, the values in specified columns. Whatever the columns that you specify with respect to this group by clause, you know, based on that values, they will be grouped. And with respect to this group by clause, every time we use